ring. I feel like it'll be a little entertaining. I don't know how long he's gonna last with these big shots coming at him. But hey, only time will tell. I'm not here to hype that shit. Not even my business. That's somebody else fish to fry. Yeah, I got my own fish to fry.
Terence Crawford is not going to do anything to Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford, yes, he's good. He's a 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed, but he could have even hurt Magic.
Is that they think that Canelo is easy work because of the fact that he's flat-footed and he just kind of like, he does basic, I would say. He has basic skills, but he's really good at those basic fundamental skills.
Jermell Charlo breaks down why he believes Canelo will beat Terence Crawford, explaining that the key factor is how long Crawford can withstand the heavy shots coming his way. He points out that Crawford is already moving up in weight classes to face Canelo, which makes the challenge even tougher, and believes the fight will come down to how well Crawford handles Canelo's strength and pressure throughout the bout. Analysts argue that Crawford could not seriously hurt Madrimov, who is nowhere near Canelo's level, and while Crawford showed his skills against Errol Spence, this challenge is completely different. Canelo is a legendary fighter who has been more active in recent years, and, being younger, presents an even tougher and greater opponent for Bud.
That never got in the ring with anything like a Terence Crawford. That never got in the ring with a former champion, with an elite fighter. He couldn't hurt Madrimov. Canelo Alvarez is no Earl Spence, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some of y'all are hyped because what Terence Crawford did an incredible performance, an incredible job versus Earl True Spence that was supposed to be the big fish, and he turned the big fish into tuna fish on your outline, on your local supermarket. Canelo Alvarez is not Earl Spence, my brother. Canelo Alvarez is not Amir Khan. Canelo Alvarez is not Code Brook. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa. Canelo Alvarez is not Felix Diaz. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is none of those guys, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez is none of those guys. Canelo Alvarez is not the Mean Machine. Canelo Alvarez is Canelo Alvarez, regarded as one of the greats, and not just the Mexican greats. I don't like how y'all like try to put it. Oh no, he's the best Mexican, just because you don't want to say that he's one of the greatest that ever lived. Canelo Alvarez is one of the greatest that ever lived. Has carried the sport of boxing on his shoulder. And let me say it like this: leading up to the fight, Canelo Alvarez is more active than Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is more seasoned than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is more seasoned than Terence Crawford. He's younger than Terence Crawford. He's more active than Terence Crawford. His resume is better than Terence Crawford. The people that he's fought is better than Terence Crawford. He's fought every damn style. He's fought the best Russians at the time with Kovalev. He fought the best Asian in Kazakhstan and Triple G.
Elbrook explains that he favors Canelo Alvarez in a matchup with Terence Crawford because Canelo is a completely different type of fighter compared to anyone Crawford has ever faced. He highlights that while Crawford's victory over Errol Spence was impressive, it does not prepare him for what Canelo brings to the table, as Canelo's strength, experience, and ability to control fights at higher weight classes set him apart from Spence and others. Brook believes Crawford has never faced an opponent with Canelo's unique combination of skill, power, and ring intelligence, which makes this fight one of the toughest challenges of his career.
You've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's going to have to, move up, and, I know when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting the middleweight, a mediocre world champion is okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring, but he's very much a good mover as well. Do you feel like he's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to?
Well, I don't know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. It's like he's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather.
Analysts stress that Terence Crawford may simply be too small to hurt Canelo Alvarez effectively, as he is moving up nearly 3 weight classes with limited experience at 154. They compare this situation to Floyd Mayweather, who had already faced multiple elite opponents before fighting Canelo, while Crawford has only fought Madrimov at that level. Gabriel Zotto adds that when fighters are accustomed to opponents with real power at higher weights, punches from smaller divisions do not carry the same effect, raising questions about how Crawford will handle Canelo's strength.
I think that Crawford may be too small to really impact and hurt Canelo Alvarez. He's moving up pretty much 3 weight classes, which is exactly what I said. I'm not counting 154. He had 1 fight, bro. He had 1 fight. Floyd Mayweather got more fights at 54 than Terence Crawford. Woo! Because Crawford, he fought Madrimov. Floyd fought De La Hoya, Cotto, and then he fought Canelo at 152. So you had an aging Floyd who fought more times at the higher weight class, and Bud looks to be a bigger dude than Floyd Mayweather, right? So when Floyd was 37, he moved to 52 and fought a much bigger Canelo. Crawford's 37. He fighting Madrimov with 11 fights. Not the same. It's not. I don't care what y'all talking about. The Blood Buddies just gonna have to be mad at me because truth is truth. So that's a valid question. And again, I'll be glad when this fight's over. Put it that way. I don't care who wins. May the best man win. I hope it's a double knockout. I already told y'all. Just because I'm just over it. And I want to get back to some of the other fights. There's other fights that are interesting and they make more sense. Like Brian Norman, Devin Haney. I'm interested in Yard versus Benavidez, etc. There's some fights we're hearing about, blah, blah, blah. So I'll be glad when this is over, to be 100% honest. There's more fights that actually fans have been requesting that matter, blah, blah, blah. But Rosado, he brought up a lot of good points. He was saying Crawford, he thinks he's too small, and he even gave his own personal experience. He said, I'm 180, 190 solid, and when I fight guys that are welterweights, even if they crack and they're known for being menacing, murderous punchers at the lower weight classes, 140, 147, them moving up, it feels like pillows when they fight me. When I get hit with their punches, they feel like pillows because I'm used to getting hit by triple. Right? He used to triple G work. He used to Lemieux work. So to me, this is kind of common sense, but common sense ain't that common, right?
Analysts continue to emphasize one of the most important factors in a potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, whether Crawford can withstand Canelo's punches and absorb the kind of power that has stopped or slowed down many opponents before him. While some fighters believe Canelo appears flat-footed and easy to deal with, experts argue this is deceptive, as his style is deliberate, relying on balance, timing, and efficiency. By planting his feet and focusing on fundamentals, Canelo ensures that every shot carries maximum power, creating a unique challenge for Crawford. Although Crawford's defensive skills and movement may allow him to avoid shots for long stretches, Canelo's patience means he will eventually find openings, and once those appear, the true test will be whether Crawford can remain composed under heavy fire. Many analysts agree that the deciding factor in this fight may not be who lands more punches, but whether Crawford's chin and body can endure the punishment.
Crawford going to be able to take Canelo's punches, and is Canelo going to be skilled enough to not keep on getting banged up by Crawford and his craftiness? It's the battle of two greats. You know what I mean? So I believe that Canelo, you really see him, when you see him fight, he almost got a one way of style, and it works for him. He likes to get in there and bang you up. He likes to throw hard punches. He likes to break you down. He likes to hit you everywhere. You're gonna hit your body, your arms, the forehead, the ear, the neck. Wherever he can land a good one, he's gonna land it. And that usually breaks him down. So with some fighters, I see is that they think that Canelo is easy work because of the fact that He's flat-footed, and he just kind of like, he does basic, I would say. He has basic skills, but he's really good at those basic fundamental skills. He does everything almost like perfect. But yeah, he's flat-footed, but you got to realize that he also has hell of a head movement and body movement. He understands, and he's perfected that rolling with the punch thing.
The night Terence Crawford faced Errol Spence is remembered as one of the most complete and dominant performances in boxing history, as he showcased every aspect of his skill set: speed, accuracy, timing, defense, and finishing ability, while dismantling a fighter who had been considered one of the best welterweights in the world, making it look effortless. For many, that night secured Crawford's place as one of the greatest fighters of this generation. Now, his training partners insist he looks even better than he did during that fight, noting that his speed remains sharp, his reflexes are intact, and his conditioning is at its peak. Despite being older, Crawford appears to have refined his approach and sharpened his focus even further, and those who have witnessed his recent preparation believe he is in the best form of his career, a confidence that could give him the edge he needs against an opponent as dangerous as Canelo.
Sharper than ever, more dangerous than ever, and most importantly, he looks like the greatest version of himself. Now, can we actually believe this? Can Terence Crawford at nearly 39 years old, with him being inactive, with him being heavier than ever, is it possible that the man will actually look better than ever? Now, let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. When you're talking about someone like Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez, you're talking about the elite of the elite. And if I'm going to be honest, Terence Crawford, when he fought Errol Spence, in my opinion, in all my years of watching combat sports, I'm a MMA guy turned into boxing. But I have never, ever in my life watched an elite championship fight and had my jaw absolutely drop to the floor with the greatness that I witnessed. And that is the only way to describe what Terence Crawford did versus Errol Spence. In my opinion, that was the greatest performance in our lifetime. I mean, I can't go back to the old days. I'm not a historian. But as far as I'm concerned, that was the greatest performance I have ever seen in my life. And especially to who he did it to, Errol Spence. Dangerous southpaw. At the time, I believe he was pound for pound number 3. And Terence Crawford absolutely annihilated him.
Former middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik offered strategic insight on how Terence Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez, focusing on the importance of the early rounds. According to Pavlik, Crawford cannot allow Canelo to control the tempo. Instead, he must rely on his footwork, combinations, and ring intelligence to force Canelo into working harder than usual. The strategy is straightforward. If Crawford can push Canelo to throw more punches, move his feet, and chase the fight, he can drain the Mexican champion's energy reserves, as Canelo has shown signs of slowing down in the later rounds of long battles. Pavlik believes this is where Crawford's opportunity lies. By keeping the pressure high early, Crawford can limit Canelo's explosive power in the later rounds and possibly outpoint him or even secure a late stop.